Well, hello and welcome to my latest video. I'm stressing like a bastard and I haven't even left yet. I'm off on a cycling, sportive and camping trip in the Alphard. If you watched my last video, I went to Suffolk for a similar kind of event, although actually I ended up riding the Brompton on a kind of shorter ride and not doing the sportive. But this time I actually am planning to do the sportive. And I'm heading like Shackleton searching for the Northwest Passage. I am going to Norfolk, deepest, darkest Norfolk. There be dragons, I believe. There are people genuinely who believe that the Earth is flat, and of course I am one of them. And the thing about Norfolk is, if I say if, but of course, because the Earth is flat, there are edges. And people think because it's flat, it's got to be square. It doesn't have to be square, it just has to be flat. But there are edges, and you know where one of the edges is? Oh yes, my friends, Norfolk constitutes one of the edges. So let's go there and find the edge, as we must all do at some stage in our lives. So come with me on this journey, and let's hope we get back alive. Well, I've been driving, I suppose, for about an hour and a half and heading for the edge of the world, i.e. the North, I can't say it, the North Norfolk coast. And I saw a sign to Castle Acre, which is where I am now. I've always been a big fan of castles. So let's have a look at this fine example of the castle art. I mean, can you see anything? I can't see a castle. Can you see a castle? Well, I can't see it. I can see a mound of earth. Can't see a castle. Perhaps I need to go on a quest. All right, Julian, put your questing boots on and let's see what we can see. Well, this is quite extraordinary. This is enormous. Look, there are massive embankments, earthworks, ditches, the remains of quite extensive fortifications. Look, more mounds, and remarkably well preserved, considering. Now, as I say, I'm a big fan of castles, and if you're a watcher of my videos and a fan of my videos, and I do recognise that those two things don't necessarily go together. Some people watch my videos but absolutely hate them, and some people are a fan of mine but don't actually watch my videos. So go figure, as they say. But anyway, if you are a watcher and or a fan, you will know that one of the big things that I believe in is serendipity. In other words, the notion of a happy accident. You stumble across a place, and I stumbled across, well, not literally, I was driving along and I saw a sign to Castle Acre, and being a person of a curious mind, I thought, I wonder if Castle Acre means there's a castle there. And by golly, is there a castle? Is there a castle? Well, yes, there is. You're looking at it. Now, if you see that path there leading up to the castle, Julian is going to attempt to scale the castle and overcome it in a fierce battle. Let's go. We're going down the steps. Down the steps. Bumpety, bumpety, bumpety. Like Christopher Robin. That notice, incidentally, said that these were deep ditches, but they weren't a moat. So they were not filled with water. It's quite unusual in my book. That sign says Daddy. Strange, isn't it? Oh no, it doesn't. It says East Gate. No, East Gate. Ah, this was the remains of the East Gate. We can see the remains of quite extensive walls, fortifications. There's the remains of a lady having a picnic there, about to be attacked by a mother and child. They get closer, they get closer. Bam! Oh no, sorry, they missed. And this is one of the approaches to the main part of the castle. This bridge across the ditch. Those people have already attacked the castle. Were they repulsed? Did they succeed? We shall find out. Morning.
Morning.
I wonder if those are some of those famous Norfolk people of which I have heard so much and believed so little. This is the Upper Ward Gatehouse. As you can see, I'm not the only one to be interested in the remains of this castle. This could be a well, or it could be a dungeon. It could be both, I suppose. I suppose you could just take the prisoners and chuck them down the well. Might pollute the water though. Not if you had a Brita filter. Do you know Brita filters in medieval times? Not sure. I think this gives you an impression of how thick the walls were. They had really good insulation in those days. That's because in Norman times, lots of people used to superglue themselves to the remains of Roman roads, so the chariots could not pass. But that, of course, their attitudes were slightly different in those days. So instead of politely being asked to move, the chariots just rolled over them, which was unfortunate, but it did add to the surface of the roads. This was the cinema room of the castle. Used to be a series of seats here. Coca-Cola, ice cream was dispensed, and of an evening the inhabitants would sit down and they'd all watch a movie, or Britain's Got Talent, whichever looked best, on a big screen. Flat screen telly. They were some of the first people in England in Norman times to have a flat screen telly. You can see here how the Ukrainians have climbed up onto the castle walls. We've now climbed up the steps and we're looking down there into the cinema room, which I showed you earlier. And we have extensive views of the Norfolk countryside. According to the very informative notice boards, this was originally built as a sort of country house, and then as time passed and as the situation in the country got perhaps more and more desperate, similar to now, it was transformed into a fortified house and then a castle. One of the few such buildings to end up as a castle in this country. It's very interesting. How many other people are currently preparing their country houses to be a castle as they await civil unrest in the light of Sue Gray's report. Not many, I suspect. This narrow passageway gives a nice view of that house there, and those two examples of original Norman cars. You can see some people there descending the steep steps, which I did, and then crossing the bridge of San Luis Rey. If you've not read that, by the way, by Thornton Wilder, you should read it. One of the best short novels ever written. That gives you a bit of a view of the castle, or the castle walls, and the Norfolk countryside, and the sky, and the lowering clouds. Also a view of my head, which is always a good thing in one's YouTube videos, to get your head in. Sometimes the rest of your body, not always, depends on what your body is like. My body is not one that generally needs to be seen, so you're going to have to make do with the head, I'm afraid. On a plate, no doubt many of you would wish for, but you're not going to get it, not this time anyway. Nice, isn't it? Shall I duck out of the frame? Now, you can just see my hand waving. Some irritating children there. Two lovers there on the mound. That lone picnicker that you saw earlier. It seems to be picnicking beside two long burial mounds. Of course, they were much taller in Norman times. The average height of a man was 9 feet. The average height of a woman was 10. Unusually, women in Norman times were taller than men. Not something that happens anymore. What do you think she's having in her picnic? She's got a kind of picnic basket there thing. Is she having some plover's eggs? Perhaps some caviar? Perhaps a sandwich from Marks and Spencer's? Or a picnic hamper from Iceland? Leave your suggestions in the comments down below if you know what this lady might have had for a picnic. And if you are this lady, and you happen to be watching this video, tell us, tell my viewers, what did you have for your picnic on that fine day? Actually, it's not such a fine day. It's a bit grey, a bit cloudy, a bit windy. Not cold though, not cold. Oh, wasn't that fascinating? Castle Acre. Now, some viewers have commented recently that some of my videos are too long, and if I'm honest, I would probably agree with that sentiment. I don't think anybody, even my nearest and dearest family, who in fact don't watch my videos at all, but even my dearest and nearest family have no desire to watch a 50-minute Julian video. So I have resolved, viewers, in future that my videos are going to be shorter. So this is a short video, primarily about my trip to Castle Acre in Norfolk. So I'm going to sign off there. And if you want to hear more about my trip to Norfolk and my cycle sportive, you're going to have to watch the other videos which will no doubt occur in this series. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed Castle Acre, and see you next time.